So I'm gonna do a final thoughts on the AT300 tone winner processor for my home theater system. Um, when I got involved with this, I came across Atmos, Dolby Atmos. I didn't know what it was, and after doing some research, I realized that it was a more immersive system. I started looking for devices that would support Atmos, a receiver that would support Atmos. But I wanted to go with DJ speakers because I thought I could go buy a lot of used speakers that still had some life in them and use those. I did go with DJ speakers, but I ended up buying them new. So the cost for my entertainment system skyrocketed a little bit because the speakers I chose, I went for was a little more expensive. But when I do my video on that, I'll go into more depth of that. But anyway, DJ speakers require XLR connections. So I started looking at XLR um, devices, processors, and some of the Muse was one of them. The first one I looked at. It was very simple, very compact device, but it was like 7 grand for it. God damn. So I didn't bother with that one. And then I started looking around again. I came across, monoprice HDP1. Emotiva have RMC 1L, I believe it is. But regardless, Marantz had a couple. There's a whole slew of them out there, but there were thousands upon thousands of dollars to get one that will do what I wanted to do, and they had a significant amount of features that I would never use, Dirac and all that other stuff. I would just never use that, those things. And although a lot of like audiophiles, say, using Dirac system and all that will really fine tune stuff. I'm sure it does that, but for me, I just want to be able to fine tune my stuff manually that fits my ear. And even though the AT300 has like you can get a microphone for doing all that kind of thing. Um, Probably not at the level as Dirac, but it has that feature. Um, Amir suggested doing it manually because you could fine tune it to your liking and not necessarily to a computerized liking. And some people like that computerized liking, but for me, I wanted to do it manually, and that's how I set it up before even trying to use that the auto system that came with the device. But I did ask the question, and even my mayor suggested just do it manually for better sound. So overall, the device is very simple to use. To me, it reminds me of the Muse without the price, without that crazy $7,000 or $8,000 price tag. Um, for a more uh, budget-friendly processor, it's significantly cheaper, over half the price, over half the cost. Um, to for the Emotiva or the Monolith, because those are like those are $4,000. Um, and those, so I didn't really find a whole lot of stuff on YouTube with it, but I did run across a few things where it was suggested. So I started. Well, they talked about it, but not in a way where it made me feel comfortable buying it. So I did a little more research on using on forums and things like that. And while I was looking at forums, I say, you know what? Let me just take a leap of faith with this device, and I went ahead and just purchased the thing. At the time it was end of 2021, so I purchased it for about almost $1,500, including shipping, no tax, and it came relatively fast and relatively straightforward to plug everything into place. Um, the setup was threw me off a little bit, but you look at my other video, I speak more about the setup. You can go more in depth there. But overall, it was very easy to set up. Um, Everything was pretty much plug and play, and because I had already tuned everything to my liking with the using the gain on the back of my speakers, um, there really wasn't much I had to do except go into the settings for the device and select 7.1.6, because that's the only thing I can get out of the XLR. You can do 9.1.6, I believe, using the using or 9.3.6. There's some funny things, but I didn't get involved with that one for the RCA connections. You can get more um, immersive sound from those. But I stuck with the XLR, so that's what I focused on. The manual on the um, for it is not too bad, but I still contacted because I wasn't really familiar with eARC as much, because that's a new technology to me. Um, I had to plug in a second HDMI cord to my TV in order to see the menu for the tone winner. But once I figured that out, everything worked very smoothly. Setup was really fast. If you're looking for a cheap processor for home theater, this is the device to get. $1,500. It might be a little bit more by the time you see this video. If you're looking at years from now, it might be a different device. I did tell Amira from Summit High Five if you come up with a 9.2.6 or 11.2.6, let me know, because I will buy another tone winner. I am very impressed with it. As far as longevity goes, I'm not sure, because it's new, so we'll see about longevity. But everything is metal. Everything hooks up pretty smoothly, and I have really no complaints about it at this time. If something does come up later on, I'll make a video about it and post. But as of today, I've had a device for 2 to 3 weeks, and it has worked really well. Atmos has worked really well. The only thing I would say about Atmos, and that might work for everything, all the others, is that I had to turn the gains up all the way up on my Atmos speakers when I'm watching movies, and keep my gains on the surround sound speaker and center speaker about quarter of the turn on my DJ speakers, um, and on the digital gains I had to put it all the way up to max for the Atmos speakers and lower all the gains on everything else, except for the subwoofer, in order for me to really experience and enjoy Atmos. That's the only downside I would say. I can't say if it's the same for every device, every preamp, but for this processor it is. So if you guys have Emotiva or some of the other ones, and you don't have to go through that, let me know in the comment section down below. But overall, I'm really impressed and really happy with it. As far as music goes running through this device, I can send Bluetooth from all my devices, including my computer, and it works phenomenal. When you do audio, obviously, I had to bring the gains down, everything level, because now it's pushing sound depending on the setting I use. If I use all, like multi-channel, bring the gains down, bring everything level, it'll send signal seamlessly through all the speakers. I'm still playing around with Neural and a couple of the other settings, but so far the multi-channel works great. Just bring all the levels down to get uniform sound through everything. Like, subscribe, ask questions in the comment section down below if I didn't answer something in this talk, and I'll do my best to respond as quickly as possible. You all have a good day.